All right, we are recording and let's go ahead and get things started. Mark, since you are on the screen, why don't we go ahead and start with you?
So first off, what's up, KP? How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. I was talking to KK Bransford earlier this week about what dog class was like for her, and she, was really praising of how much she came away from it. I was wondering what the experience was like for you, obviously being down in the dirt with them and what you took away from it.
Oh man, I just like even now I still have flashbacks of that weekend, and I just really, first of all, grateful to Under Armour to like see my vision and help it come to life. And obviously they're paying for it, so they're really about investing in women and kind of the next generation. I mean, KK was tremendous. I thought all the girls were tremendous, and I think that's what made camp so special. They came with a mentality of like just wanted to get better. And for me, I told them from the jump, I was like, guys, I'm not any better than you. I'm 5 years older. And so like, this is like what I wish I would have had when I was your age. And so ask questions. If I don't have the answer, I probably know someone that does. And just, I loved their mentality. Each one of them came in like ready to work. And the response has been incredible. I mean, the amount of college coaches that have reached out to me, not only just wanting to come, but then also like asking, what did you guys do? Like, what can I do with my players? And so I think this is going to be like a staple. I think we're going to continue to grow this. And, one of my visions next year is to like try to bring my teammates and make it, there's a lot of rules and regulations you got to work around, but the idea is just preparing them for the next level, because that gap, that bridge, could really, really help people.
No, yeah, no, definitely, especially too, like with how difficult it can be transitioning from college to pro and like getting that going so early. When you're looking at where you were at, coming out of UW, like how much would something like that have been beneficial to you?
I mean, it would have been tremendous. I don't think, I think my college coaches did the best that they could. And it's not really their responsibility. They're juggling a lot of things, but felt very underprepared, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, just having an understanding of how things work, how fast it goes. Like a lot of people don't realize they've built a little bit more time between the draft and training camp. But when I was in school, it was draft and 3 days later I was in camp. And so I had to like move out of my apartment in college and like move across to San Antonio. And there's all these moving pieces and like working on signing with a brand on a shoe company. And so like picking your agent, there's a little bit more leeway with NIL and things like that. But I just had no idea. I had no idea. And, I'm grateful that God has allowed me some of those experiences because I feel very passionate about like figuring out ways that I can help people that they might not have to go through what I went through emotionally, in their journey.
Most definitely. And then last follow up with that too. How long was that something that was in the works for you? Like something that you thought about when Under Armour kind of first brought it up and when that really became something that you realized could be a reality?
So actually I brought it up. And I brought it up before I signed. It was something that I wanted to make sure, like, if I was going to go with a brand, it's not about the money. It's about figuring out a way to make an impact and feeling like, I don't want to be like a number on a roster. I want to be able to like really, change the game. And so I think that what blew me away with UA was just like, there were like immediate, like, hey, this is what we're thinking. We can help you with this. We specialize in a lot of these things. I mean, people don't realize Under Armour has the #1 AAU circuit on the girls' side, and they invest the same amount of money. Like they have an All-American camp for the girls, just like they do for the boys, and they're really putting a lot behind it. So there already was like infrastructure, but they just were like, "Hey, you want to do this? We're gonna help you do it." And I think for me, I didn't want it to be like a camp where people come and I don't really participate. I'm not really involved. Like it wasn't about me. Technically I hosted it, but I wanted them to realize like it was about them, and I wanted it to be like a premier camp, right? Like this is like a privilege to be able to go and experience this. So I wanted like small numbers, and I think that we'll continue to do that. Like you want to be invited. This is an honor. And so credit to the girls that came. They really soaked that in.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelsey. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Everybody's experience with college and coming into the WNBA is going to be different. Were there questions that they asked that you hadn't even necessarily thought of about what they were going to experience?
Yeah, they asked a lot of questions about their like current situation, which I thought was really smart because most of them are like either underclassmen or have another year. Diamond was the only person that was going to the draft. They kind of asked about like what would you be doing like right now in college that you didn't do, not just the transition from the pros, which I'm excited to watch a lot of them play this year because now I'm like emotionally invested in like Georgia and Haley and KK and things like that. So I just thought the quality of human being that was there just made the experience like better. And by the way, you can't interview me wearing a duck shirt. It's really hard for me to talk to.
I threw it on today and I was like, is she gonna give me shit for this? And yeah,
Absolutely.
I should have known it.
Yeah.
Jolene?
If you could characterize the mindset of college athletes now versus or people who are just coming into the WNBA versus even the way it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, what do you think are the biggest differences?
Oh man, God bless them. I feel like they're under a lot more I don't know the exact word, but NIL, money, viewership, kind of responsibility, national TV, all great things, but it comes with a lot. And so I think that taking care of their mental health, we talked about that a lot. I mean, I literally brought my mental like performance coach in to talk to him because we call these things interferences, like that I work with. They're things that get in the way of allowing you to just be present, right? And be in the moment. And I had a lot in college. I think I was a little bit of a unique situation, but in general, from them top to bottom, they're dealing with a lot. And then go to school, right? And then, be around, like, you have a family life and social life outside of that stuff. So, I'm praying for them. It's a lot to juggle at that age. We juggle it as pros, but that's also your job and what you're supposed to be doing. So, man, I just was like, I was blown away by the matureness of them, and they got to grow up fast. Yeah.
And then my second question is, what does it mean, or what does it do for you as an athlete to have a facility like the one that you have now, just like brand spanking new, all the bells and whistles?
I mean, it's tremendous. I think that for what we've been doing the last couple of years, like, I mean, the Aces have gone above and beyond, but like we didn't have a facility. So we're working at high schools. We're going to UNLV practice gyms, and we're kind of like moving all the time. And so you're kind of having to like scrapbook your day, maybe I lift over here and maybe I do this over here and things like that. But to be able to have everything in one place with all the resources, it's just a level of like, man, I'm just grateful to be here, grateful to be part of an organization that wants to invest and puts a lot of money and time and resource and just people, like our personnel, our staff. We have high quality, excellent people that are happy to come to work. Like that makes a big difference.
Yeah, what does it mean in the scope of the broader WNBA? Do you think that it's now puts pressure on all the other teams to level up?
Yeah, in a good way. I think that, you already see people like New York doing it. I think Phoenix has new ownership. They're doing it. I think that Atlanta is doing amazing things. I mean, you see all over the league that these franchises are understanding, like stepping up, everyone's game. And so if like anything, right? Like when a player is playing in the league and they're playing great basketball, the league has to rise to that level if they want to compete. And I feel like just from, a resource standpoint, the league is responding, and that's what we want. We want to grow the league. And so it's been tremendous.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, KP.
Thanks,
We'll
Jake.
be right back with Kirsten Bell as soon as she gets up from down. We'll be back shortly with Kirsten Bell, guys. I don't know if we accidentally muted before.
No, you're good. We heard you. Thanks, Jiggy.
Perfect.
It'll be just another couple seconds.